Hi everyone, today I'm going to be recreating the latte makeup look trend, so if you're interested in seeing how I got this look, keep on watching. So something that I think is really interesting about the latte makeup look is that it has sort of a yellow tone in it, so I think to achieve that yellow brownish tone, instead of trying to add yellow into the crease or add some yellow on top of anything, I'm going to use the Danessa Myricks Color Fix in primary yellow as a base for my brown eyeshadow. It's an idea that I got from Sam Chapman from Pixie Woo. She did sort of like an edgy brown eye makeup look a long time ago. It was quite a few years ago, and I remember she used a yellow shadow of some sort as the base, and it just looks so cool. So I'm going to do that same technique for the latte makeup now. And I'm just going to apply a very thin layer over my lid and into my crease, kind of going along with the shape I want the eyeshadow to take. And for reference, I used the tiniest dot and then I wiped it out and sort of blended it off my brush before I even put it on my eyes, so you only need a tiny amount of this, but I am also using it with a really big fluffy brush just to sort of feather it out a little bit more. I think I like the latte makeup looks that look a little bit more blown out. I typically always love a more blown out eye makeup look, so that's why I'm using this brush and sort of just adding the wash of color everywhere. Okay, so the next step is going to be to just pick a medium warm brown and do a wash of that over the eyelid as well. This one is from Morphe. You can use whatever one you have on hand. Also keep in mind the yellow underneath is going to make it look a little bit warmer than it looks in the pan, so even if you have a medium brown, that may work if you're using the yellow base. Going in with another layer. And now we're going to take it a little bit past where we added that yellow and blending it up. If you get to this point and you find the yellow is a little bit too much, you can go back in to the concealer that you may or may not have put on at this point and just sort of go around the edges to soften. So you can still see a little bit of the yellow peeking through, but anything around the edges has now been minimized or removed. Something else that could help you blend in that yellow or make it look a little more subtle is if you use your contour as a bit of an eyeshadow too. So I'm just going to swipe in here just to show you using the contour base. And bring it up. You could potentially do the same thing with the bronzer you're using too. Okay, so once those base colors are down, I'm going to start adding to the sultriness of the eye. And to do that, first I'm going to be using MAC Cosmetics Chestnut Lip Pencil. Just going to use it sort of as a liner. The eyeliner for this eye look is pretty thin, but there is a lot of depth on the lash line, so I'm just going to add some with this pencil here, top and bottom, then blend out with a flat brush. And what this is going to do is add dimension, of course, but it's also going to help the darker shadow I stick on a bit later stick to this pencil and allow it to look like it has some depth, but it's just one eyeshadow instead of two. I'm just bringing this into the outer V, but if you want to drag this out to make a wing, you can. I'm probably going to wait till after I've done all of the eyeshadow to clean up the shape a little bit with concealer and make it look more V-shaped. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with a chocolate brown. Again, using a Morphe eyeshadow for this. You could use whatever you have. I'm just going to go along the lid like this, putting that color on where I want the most pigment and density, and then I'll blend it out. This is looking pretty dark right now just because I don't have any bronzer or anything on, and also a lot of the time when I see this done on women, it's usually on a tanned woman, so it seems to blend with their skin a little better, but once I put some bronzer on, it won't look so intense. Also, once I put some shimmer on, it's not going to look so intense. Taking that same fluffy brush and blending that out. Before I continue with the eyeshadow, I'm going to add some bronzer just to see where we're at. So I'm just going to dip into the RCMA foundation palette and add some bronze to my face, just using a brush. I do feel like I took out a lot of the original foundation color just to make my face bronze enough that it feels like it matches this. Now I'm just taking some of that bronzer around the eye as well to blend into the bronzer on my cheek. I think it actually would be quite nice over here as well. Let's just add some bronzer there. If it's too much, I'm just going to clean it up with concealer. But I do think adding some depth here adds to the sultriness, so I actually really like that. I'm going to add a little more. Okay, now I think I'm going to grab my concealer and just go around some of the edges of the makeup. I'm going to add a little bit here just to brighten. But I do think that there is some work to be done here to do a little bit of reshaping. I'm going to take a darker concealer color for the outer edge. And just sort of start to reshape, clean it up. I do like that it blends into the bronzer, but I do still want some definition around the brow. Okay, so you can see that this side is looking a lot brighter than this side is right now. So I'm just going to repeat on that side. Now I'm just going to go in with a tiny bit of a brown shimmer or sparkle and just sort of pat that on. I really like that when I see the pictures of the Latte makeup, it looks sort of satiny. It doesn't really look glittery, but it looks satiny. And something I really like about the Latte makeup is the inner corners that I see that are quite a lot lighter than the rest of the eyeshadow. So I'm going to just go in with a sort of white pearl shimmer, and I'm actually going to bring that up here into where we sort of added that depth with the brown eyeshadow. We're going to add some reflection with the white pearl, so we can see as we move the eye, it sort of looks like a little something else is there. I'm actually going to take the lip pencil on my waterline as well. just to sort of make my eyes look a little bit more almond shaped. I feel like when I put brown eyeshadow on my bottom lash line and nothing in the waterline, it sort of looks like more round than it usually does. Adding a little bit more to the outer lash line. Taking that same flat brush to blend it out. This time, giving it a little bit of a wing. Following the shape we made with the eyeshadow and with the concealer. You can pat it out if it goes a little too far. Okay, I'm liking how that's looking. I'm seeing a little bit of the sultriness come into the eye look now that I've created a shape and added a bit of a wing. I'm just going to keep layering on this product until I have the depth I want on both sides. To add a little bit more sultriness, I'm going to add some liquid liner right onto the lash line and a little bit into the inner corner as well. I'm also going to blend this out. And just sort of push it into where you've drawn that wing. And do you see how that just intensified it a little bit, but didn't really add much? I like doing this with liquid liner because sometimes if you use eyeshadow, you end up having to fan it out a little too much and the black gets everywhere. But with this, you could just draw a line and start to push it into your lash line. Just to add some intensity. It's also going to make your lashes look thicker. I think I need to get really close to the mirror to do the inner corner, so I'll be right back. So I just did the same thing I did on my outer corner, but on my inner corner I added some of the liquid liner in here and then buffed it out with a brush. You could see the difference it made on each side here. And by keeping the eyeliner only at the outer corner and inner corner and avoiding this middle area, I've kept my eyes looking almond shaped rather than emphasizing how round they are. This is also a good eyeliner tip for those of you who have hooded eyes and don't want the heaviness that comes with winged liner. You could just line the inner corner and the outer corner and leave the middle blank, put mascara on to help blend the black lines or the brown lines, whatever color eyeliner you're using, and you sort of avoid any heaviness and you also avoid having your eyes look more round. So next I'm just going to apply some mascara. I'm going to curl my lashes first. I'm going to use Max Stack for the mascara, and when I apply the mascara, the first coat is going to be pulling upwards, but the second coat, especially around the outer corner of my lashes, is going to be pulling outwards to follow that feline shape and to again not make my eyes appear more round and stay more almond shaped. So you can see here that adding the majority of the mascara to the outer corner and pulling outwards follows the shape that we created with the eyeshadow and the eyeliner, and my eye still looks almond shaped, it still looks a little sultry, and it doesn't look round. Okay, final touches are going to be to add some pink to the cheeks and lips. I already have what I think is enough pink on my lips, but I'm just going to add a little bit more to my cheeks with a lipstick that I'm wearing. Patting that pretty high up. And once you're happy with the amount of blush that you have, you can go in with highlighter. And I think I'm going to add some of this highlighter into the eye look as well. Where we put that pearl, I'm just going to emphasize it a little bit. I really like that. It's definitely giving me more of the satin finish that I thought I saw in the photos. I'm actually going to add this a little bit over top of the glitter as well, just in this area. Honestly, if you have a gold highlighter, it would probably work better, but all I have is a pink, so that's what I'm using. And now for lips, I'm going to use the same lip liner I was using on my eyes to line my lips. If you didn't already have pink lipstick on, I would encourage you to add some pink to the center just before adding some gloss. For gloss, I have this sort of brownie pink Dazzle Glass lip gloss from MAC. The color is Get Rich Quick, and I'm just going to add this over top. Alright everyone, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed watching me create this sort of more pink toned latte makeup look. I hope you learned something new today, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.